the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. And welcome inside Ferndale High School, where tonight the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic is going down on a Friday night in Ferndale. Chad Bush alongside Rob Murphy. Glad to be with you on the Preps coverage, special coverage of the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. All right, 3 games. Rob, tonight we're going to start with DEPSA against North Farmington. Of course, North Farmington comes in the runner-up from last year in Division 1, DEPSA playing in Division 3. On paper, it might look like, wow, this might be a mismatch, but a further deep into the numbers, and we see that this one might be a tight, hard-contested battle.
Yeah, well, anytime you got 2 great coaches, two coaches that have winning programs, they're looking early to see what their teams are like. Both of them lost a lot. They're trying to find out where they are. They played early. So I'm looking forward to see how these guys are, have been working all summer to get their programs in shape for an event like this.
You mentioned 2 great coaches. Let's start with Bo Neely, the head coach for DEPSA in his 12th year. A lot of pedigree, and a guy that knows not only coaching at the high school level, but he's got some experience outside of that, the AAU circuit.
Yeah, he's a state championship coach, really understands the game, a really good teacher, really good recruiter. Anytime you come up through the AAU circuit, and that's the family program in particular, one of the top programs in the state, you learn a lot and you build a lot of relationships. That has helped him become successful at DEPSA.
North Farmington comes off a win against their rival Farmington. And this is a North Farmington team, Rob, that lost 4 of their 5 starters and a ton of talent. Todd Negoshian, you mentioned, a great coach in his 14th year. But he's got his hands full tonight in replacing a big lineup.
He has them full, but what I do like about Coach Negoshian, he strives on defense. These guys will play tough. They'll play hard. He'll mix it up and see what's working for him. But all in all, anytime you have a program, you just kind of reload as opposed to rebuilding. So I'm looking forward to see how they handle that today.
All right, we're getting set for tip-off. We'll meet the starters for the Horatio Williams tip-off. Game number 1 of 3. Rob and I will have for you today on the Prep. Proud to be here for the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic in Ferndale. Get down here. It's not too late. You can want to see this in person. We're back after this. First, life gives us many. From buying your first car or first home to starting a business, Alliance Catholic Credit Union is here for you every step of the way. From checking and savings accounts and youth accounts to auto loans, mortgages, business needs, and financial planning. A full-service financial institution with over 70 years of experience. We're committed to serving your firsts, seconds, 50ths, and every day in between. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
buried the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure, steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
This is Adam, take 2. Mark?
I guess.
I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Welcome back to Ferndale on a Friday night. Let's meet the starting lineups for the road team. DEPSA, Edison, led by Bo Neely in his 12th year, state champion in 2018. As Rob mentioned earlier, 0-1 on the year. They lost to Redford Union. This is how they'll line it up tonight. They'll start with Jeremiah Myers, the 6'3 senior at one of the forward spots. Jace Petrie's in the middle. He's a Wayne State offered kid, their best player at 6'5". He's a senior. Kenneth Goodwin is also part of that front court. He's also 6'4". He's a junior. Edgar Hubbard is part of the backcourt along with Rynell Wright. Both are sophomores, very talented, and they'll lead the way for Bo Neely and DEPSA tonight here in the opener of the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. Again, DEPSA comes in 0-1 on the year. Meanwhile, North Farmington, the Raiders, the runners-up from last year in Division I, coming out of the OAA Red, 1-1 on the year. They lost their opener to King by 5, but won their last time out against their rival on Tuesday night against Farmington. They won that game by 11. Here's how they'll line them up. Rob Smith, the only returner out of that starting 5, a guy with multiple offers, the JUCO level, Division III, Division II, sniffing him, a good player. And he'll be the head of the snake for Todd Negocian tonight. Deion Morgan is part of the backcourt. He's a new guy that's filling in the lineup. Todd Negocian heavy on him, and we'll see how Ford performs tonight. Lawrence Woodley at the other guard, wears number 11. Brandon Jackson is one of the forwards at 6'2", wears number 12. And Connor Brown is the big man in the middle, replacing the other Smith from a season ago. He wears number 23. Todd Negocian in his 14th year. And we are just about set to go. Chad Bush alongside Rob Murphy, the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. And hey, look, I mean, this is a banger of a tournament, Rob. You've got the runners-up from last year. You've got DEPSA, who's a perennial champion out of the Charter School League. I mean, this game has the pedigree to start things off here.
Yeah, exciting times, Chad. Anytime you can open up a season and be in a tournament like this with this magnitude is great. So we're looking forward to some great basketball tonight.
Horatio Williams knows how to run a tournament the right way, and we're glad to be here bringing coverage. North Farmington starts it right to left, and this is Deion Morgan with it. Top side, this is Lawrence Woodley. Left wing drive, you see the collapse. North moves it around patiently. Edison in a bit of a matchup zone. Long possession offensively. This is Rob Smith, the guy who they want. With the ball in his hands, he feeds it left wing. Deion Morgan, Splash City. And it's 3-0 North Farmington to start the tournament.
That was a great look, Chad. Really shallow penetration, drew the defense, able to get a good pass in there, and he knocked down a really good three to start the game.
Ball tapped out of bounds. Edison will have to reset. As we get another look at that. Kick left side, and the pressure defense already, Murph, turning into turnovers.
Yeah, well, that was a great trap. They trapped both sides. They made them think, sped them up a little bit. Got to have a little bit more patience on offense to execute against any trap and any really good defense.
Two strong defensive teams. Rob Smith, hop, skip, jump in the paint, no. Offensive stick back, no. And Edison comes away clean, trailing 3-0, just underway. See that pressure defense. Floater, air ball, pulled off by Brandon Jackson, and here comes North, ready to set something up. The juice in the gym just starting to get humming. One of 3 games as Woodley works it between the rings.
No, CB, these guys are doing a really, really good job of having patience on offense, making the defense work, getting it moved back from side to side, and they were able to get a good shot, but then turn it into a quick turnover, so that was good.
Deion Morgan takes advantage. How much of it helps when you're practicing against a defense? I'm not saying it's similar, but it's somewhat of a pressure type full court defense that they face in practice, perhaps.
Yeah, it prepares you, you know, daily to see what's coming, especially when you're playing against a really good defensive team.
5-0 early, near pick there. Edison with Myers. Back to their top guy. Left-handed jump shot from 17 is through. Jace Petrie. Get used to us saying that name.
Yeah, he looks like a smooth lefty, Chad. Has great size. Was able to put it on the deck there and rise above the defense and knock one down. So I'm looking forward to see how that carries over into the next possession.
Brian Smothers at Wayne State has offered him. Really likes him. Has come on down the road in Midtown. Petrie couldn't clear there. And we've got a tie-up and a jump ball, and it's going back to Edison. You can see that grit early by Edison, not intimidated by the Division I runners-up from a year ago.
Yeah, they're trying to fill each other out. I think, you know, North Farmington is really being patient on offense, which is great. But then they sped DEPSA up, which have caused them a few turnovers early on. But they have to get settled in, and if they can get the ball to Petrie consistently, they'll be okay.
District champions a year ago for DEPSA. Steal North Farmington, doing their thing. Few steals already. TJ Waldron with it. Size advantage down low. Power layup good. Connor Brown. And it's North Farmington by 5.
North Farmington is doing a really, really good job, CB, of speeding these guys up. They won't let you get comfortable, and it rushes you on offense. So they've taken quick shots, which allows North Farmington to rebound and get the ball in transition.
Right on point with that. They forced another one up. Floater cleaned off by the Raiders. Kick right, 3 on the way. Splash City. TJ Waldron, who checked in off the bench, has North Farmington +8, a couple of 3 balls, and that defense, Rob, that's really been pressure filled.
Yeah, that's caused the transition buckets, especially live ball turnovers. They were able to get a turnover there, push it up, hit the corner 3-point shooter, and there goes the timeout to gather themselves to see what they need to do to get back in this game early.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
behind the shoulder.
Swing and a miss.
McGinley scores!
So 6 early points off of Edison turnovers, and North Farmington pressure continues, Rob.
Yeah, well, they're speeding these guys up and they're forcing them to take quick shots. And I'm sure Coach Bo Neely during that timeout told these guys to get their spacing correctly, maybe get the ball to the middle where you're able to navigate against the press. If you don't get it to the middle or you don't get penetration, then you're always putting yourself in harm's way. So here you see they speed them up, they trap in the corner. Petrie beats the trap and he was able to get a foul.
Foul on Connor Brown, near pick, backcourt. Petrie's got to battle through some things, and a 10-second clock counting as well. Trap again in the corner. This is what the Raiders do, and they force another turnover, the third of the game already, with 3:40 left in the first.
The first 2 turnovers, Chad, they were able to capitalize on them and hit 2 threes off that, so they're 6 points off turnovers, and they turn them over again. Somehow DEPSA has to settle in on offense to have a chance to get a good look at the basket.
Near steal, big boy flips it out. Rob Smith for 3, Splash City. 3 for 4 from downtown for North Farmington, who's shooting the lights out here at Ferndale.
Again, shallow penetration, able to draw the defense and get an open 3. There we go with a steal and a finish by North Farmington.
Brandon Jackson with a hammer, with a rec specs. It looks even better. And Edison across the timeline. It's been a challenge, Rob, for them to get comfortable and get to the front court. And now another turnover on a 10-second call.
Yeah, well, you have to have patience. You have to be really cerebral with the basketball, especially when you're going against a press. But I think the spacing is a little bit off right now. I'm sure that'll be an adjustment as we see the game move forward. But you have to get the ball to the sideline or get it to the middle in order to break the press consistently.
North Farmington right to left, working against Edison, who's shown some pressure of their own. What's the main differences in their 2 defenses right now?
Well, North Farmington is a lot more aggressive, and they're a lot more patient on offense. Edison is not as aggressive, but Coach Negocian coming into this game, I can bet he told his team we want to be very, very patient to start the game and see where we can get our shots from, and that's what they're doing each and every possession.
Patience continues as Karan Creary checks into the lineup. He feeds it topside for TJ Waldron. And the patience against this zone continues. The big boy finds him left wing. Creary for 3, no. And a clear out and a pull out, and here comes Edison. Quickly ahead to the rack, left hand, lay it good.
And that was good transition offense off of defense. They got North Farmington to miss. They cleared the rebound, hit it up the sideline, and was able to get a quick score.
That's the super sophomore Edgar Hubbard, part of a young backcourt. With that youth, you'll see a little bit of excellence at times, and then you'll see some, of course, sophomore mistakes.
Yeah, that's right. But it's early. This is the time you want to teach them, get them in a tournament like this, have them play against good competition, and as the year goes on, continue to get better.
Just game 2 for Bo Neely's boys. They played a tough competition in Redford Union in game 1. A competitive loss.
This is a really good, smart tactic to go zone. It'll slow you down offensively. It'll make you think. And it's really tough to play against. But once the shot goes up, you got to clear the rebound and hopefully get out in transition. They just caused a turnover there with their activity, which is great. But then, unfortunately, they turned it right back over.
Latron Wilson with a pick. And one good pick deserves another. North will go to their bench. Deion Morgan returns. Troy T.J. Waldron will sit after some very productive minutes. DEPSA will go to their bench as well. They'll bring on Davion Dickerson, the 6'5 sophomore.
Chad, it pays to have a really experienced guard. You can see the difference in Rob Smith and any other player on the floor, to be honest. really aggressive. He's smart. He's quick. He makes the right play. And there they are, turning it over, trying to get in transition and gets a foul.
DEPSA closes some gaps, forces the turnover, but they have not been able to capitalize when they do get a turnover. It's a quick flip back.
Yeah, it's extremely tough, too, because these guys are young and they haven't seen any zone defense or any press defense like this. So it's going to take them some time to adjust. And that's why it's so important for Petrie to step up and when he can get the ball, make sure he delivers.
Into the post. Connor Brown double teamed, tie up, and it's going to stay with North Farmington. 18 seconds left in the fast moving first quarter in Ferndale. We're at the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. He's Rob Murphy. My name is Chad Bush. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Rob Smith into Connor Brown, and a beautiful bob play that results in 2 free throws. Todd Negocian dialed one up.
He did dial one up there, Chad. It's nothing like execution. Underneath, out of bounds, quick screen, the big comes over, and he did a really, really good job of delivering the pass. So we'll have Brown at the line shooting 2.
6'4", shot up, no good. Connor Brown, just a sophomore. Tons of new faces after North Farmington lost Tyler Spratt and Landon Williams a year ago. Spratt to Cleveland State, Williams to Niagara. Both free throws missed, but how about it? North gets the rebound. Double kick in the gut. Final possession to the rack, lay-in, no good. It didn't matter. It's an offensive foul, and how about the young man standing in with some toughness, Edgar Hubbard.
It was great penetration by the offense, but the defense did a better job of stepping up. That was a really good step up by Edgar Hubbard in that situation to make a play for his team.
5 seconds, got to hustle. Edson in the backcourt. DEPSA in the backcourt still with 2 seconds. They heave at the horn, no good. And that's how we end the first frame in Ferndale. All North Farmington, 15-4. We'll see what's up in the second when we come back.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
The shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores.
Want to thank our sponsor for the delicious pizza, the cheese bread. We got some pop. We got some all kinds of things. This is brought to you by Uncle Andy's Pizza of Berkeley. Order online at uncleandyspizza.com. Thank you very much for the grub. We appreciate it. Rob Murphy, Chad Bush, high atop Ferndale High School for the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. The pressure from North Farmington's defense and the three-point shooting stands out in the first quarter. What else for you, Coach?
Well, if you see here, North Farmington continues to put the pressure on them. They've forced 7 turnovers since the game has started, which is the reason why North Farmington has been able to score some points, especially in transition. So DEPSA has to do a better job of taking care of the basketball and make their adjustments as the game goes forward.
8 turnovers now in the game. And look, it's only game 2 for DEPSA, right? I mean, they're playing against a high-level opponent. They're playing game number 2. What's the biggest difference between only playing 1 game and 2 games? Does it make a big difference?
Doesn't make a big difference. It's all about the experience on the floor, Chad, to be honest with you. I think in this situation, I think Rob Smith has been the catalyst for North Farmington. Having a guy that is that experienced. He's super quick, he's fast, and he to me, what it seems to me, it gives his team confidence as well. So when you're pressing and you're turning guys over consistently, they're losing confidence and you're gaining confidence, and somehow you have to, figure that out and get yourself going in a positive way.
Smith has been smooth, steady, and how about that sharing of the sugar? The hammer by Brown from Rob Smith, who's showing out early, and yet another forced turnover.
Yeah, Rob Smith right on cue. Shallow penetration here left, shot fake, bounce pass, catch, two-hand finish in the paint, just how you draw it up.
Brown with 4 points. Ball out of bounds on the far sideline. Rob Smith to trigger. 13-point lead for North Farmington. Out of the OAA Red. Tough conference. DEPSA out of the Charter School League. Floater, paint, Rob Smith got it swiped. Picked off, second steal of the game. Petrie tries to save it, and helter-skelter on the offensive end for DEPSA continues, Rob.
When you get those opportunities, you have to capitalize. In a game like this, when you're struggling to score, anytime you can get out in transition, after creating a turnover to give your team some momentum, you have to deliver there.
Travel before the shot, Deion Morgan. And Bo Neely over to have a word with his sophomore Edgar Hubbard, who's had glimpses of some promise at that guard spot. Here's another look at the travel before the three.
Yeah, he's a good shooter. Chad, he plays off short penetration. He's always ready to catch and shoot. He has some experience making those shots in the past, so he'll be really good for them throughout the season.
North Farmington in this press. DEPSA just getting to the front court. Feels like a victory at times. Ball batted out, the active hands by Connor Brown. Next up, it'll be West Bloomfield against Old Redford. There's a steal, Rob Smith all the way. No, his guy's got his back. That's Lawrence Woodley with a stick back. And North Farmington's plus 15, their largest lead.
Yeah, here they're going to keep the press on, Chad. One thing you'll understand, until this is figured out, Coach Negocian will keep trapping and trapping and trapping. And until DEPSA figures out how to execute against it, they're going to be in trouble.
Hubbard scores his 4th point. He has 4 of the 6 for DEPSA. Yeah, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
keep pressing.
Keeps pressing them, and they keep making the same mistakes. At some point, they have to get their spacing together, make sure they're in the right spots to execute the press breaker to score. Sort of what you just see here from North Farmington. They had all their players in the right spots. Edison tried to press, and they were able to throw over the top of it and go get 2 points out of it.
It's Connor Brown with a bucket. Floater, Petrie, the lefty too strong. Glass cleaned up by Waldron, who's been active in this game. Waldron's a freshman, by the way. Good looking freshman, number 10, Troy T.J. Waldron. Smith to the hole, had it blocked. But we got a whistle. There was contact somewhere, and free throws coming. And Edison's got to be saying right now, when do we get a break?
Yeah, well, you got to understand that Rob Smith is going to continue to drive aggressively. He does a really good job of picking the spots, whether he's playing against man and zone. He's a really strong finisher. He reads the floor well, so you got to find a way to keep him out the lane.
Omari Thornton blocked it from behind, but got some skin. He's at 6'7", so there is some size for Edison, but it's guard play, right, that has to get you to the front court.
Yeah, they have to be able to execute, put guys in position. I've said it a few times now, but they have to spread the floor, get the ball to the middle, and make sure they have guys at the dunker spots or at the three-point line to be able to get easy shots or easy finishes. And then if they miss and take a quick shot, you have somebody in position to get offensive rebound as well.
Smith knocks them both home. Into the game for the first time is Jordan Johnson, a 5'6" senior. And they'll give Rob Smith a much-deserved blow. He's been the story early. Edison trying to work against this press. It is a nightmare for all that face it. Petrie gets it topside, back to Hubbard, and the dish down low is just too low for a 6'7" man, out of bounds.
Idealistically, Chad, in that sequence, they did the right thing. They got the ball to the sideline. They delivered it to the middle. They had a guy in the dunker spot, but they just didn't execute the play. The guys were in the same spots. But you get pressed for so long, and then you start thinking and overthinking and trying to make plays, and then you panic and you turn it over. But the guys were in the right spots that time.
Progress, not perfection. And that's not perfection either, even though the first half has been nearly perfect for North. They flip it over, and Edison gets a chance to set something up in the front court and not have to face this press. Doesn't mean they won't face trapping, though.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to turn off any form of pressure until they figure it out. That's been their bread and butter today. Me as a coach and understanding how effective that could be, I would not take it off until they were able to solve it.
Todd Negocian agrees. The collapse and the double. Petrie's got eyes on him. 2 and 3 players collapse on him. And we got a reach and a foul. Jordan Johnson with the aggressive defense. It's busted for it.
Jordan Johnson, his first, team second.
Attack is blocked, stripped from behind. And we got a foul back the other way as North Farmington had some advantage. Karan Creary is checked back in. In a game like this, you've seen a lot of substitutions. Is it early in the season? Do you try to get more substitutions, less? What's the ideology?
Well, depending on the team you have coming back, if you have an experienced team and you know what you're going to get, but when you have young guys like this, you want to give everybody a ample opportunity to see how they can fit in and how they can be effective in a game. But if you have a lot of guys returning, you kind of know your rotation. For two teams like this, you want to get a lot of guys into your rotation to get them some experience. And as the season go on, you hope they can continue to get better and be able to deliver in the most meaningful moments.
That's fair. Shot in the paint is off the mark. DEPSA cleared it well, broke the press. Amari Thornton couldn't finish at 6'7". Rob Smith the other way, scores it. The Rob Smith show, just 7 points, but boy, it feels like a lot more impact than just points.
Yes, he's kind of the leader of this team. They're aggressive, led by him. He's doing a really, really good job of scoring, penetrating the zone, penetrating the man defense, and also getting others involved. So anytime you have a really good guard, an experienced guard like him, and he's playing this well, it's great. So here he is pushing it up. He reads that this guy's not going to cut him off. He just attacks, finishes with the offhand, and then turns around and they get in their press.
25 for North Farmington. It's their biggest lead of 19 right now that they're enjoying in this Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. Get down here to Ferndale. 2 more games to follow. Rebound, Brandon Jackson, who's been tough at 6'2" and under the glass. He's a senior. He gets it in the corner.
What I like about North Farmington, CB, that these guys are really patient. They really take good shots. They wait on their opportunity. And more importantly, they play extremely hard on defense.
Smith with numbers, and Brown with another slam. Bo Neely wants timeout in Ferndale. 21 blackjack, largest lead of the night. And the Raiders says, yeah, we lost a lot, but we're coming back. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we're your financial guardian angel. We're here to help you achieve your dreams. A new home, a Catholic education, that business you are working to build. We're here to support the goals of your family, your retirement, and the community that surrounds you. We're here to offer your trusted financial services inspired by Catholic values. And like your guardian angel, we'll always be by your side. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. The Raiders of North Farmington, 1-1 on the year, as we mentioned. Notable seasons. Yeah, how about last season? They went all the way to the finals before falling to the Eaglets of Orchard Lake. They also lost in the 2016 state finals to UAD. And Bashir Jihad, a guy I know you recall, who went to Ball State. And he had a big career down in Muncie. And transferred, he's at Arizona State, doing some damage for Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, the coaches there have really built out the program. They've done a tremendous job. And them losing in the state championship game a year ago, CB, that's they lost to a great team, number one. Number two, it's really, really hard to get to the Breslin. And anytime you have a chance to compete for a state title, you're doing something tremendous in your program. So they're looking to build on that, I'm sure. But they had some great players in the past who having success in Division I basketball as well. So you have a good program there, and they're really continuing to build it.
He's Rob Murphy, who has a state championship to his title. He knows how to get to Breslin and win. He did it with Detroit Crockett as their bench boss back in 2001.
2001. We had a great run.
23 years ago.
23 years ago.
What a team that was.
Yeah, and you know, when I walked in this gym, I thought about that because we came through here doing a regional to get to the Breslin. So this gym was very good to me. And also at Central High School in '98 when we had our state run, we played Dane Fife in this gym as well to advance onto the Breslin. Brings back great memories here at Ferndale.
Some good feels and friendly Ferndale. Three-pointers good. Foul. DEPSA's trying to get aggressive on the perimeter. And
that was number 14.
Here's another look at that triple.
Look at the replay, shallow penetration, kick to the corner. Nice shot, nice three from Woodley. I guess the challenge here for DEPSA is to understand they're not going to get it back in all one play. You can't, hit the grand slam now. You still, to stay in the game, you have to be patient. You have to figure out how to attack the press and be consistent against it consistently in order to have a chance to get back in this game. But you can't get it back in one play.
Kenneth Goodwin at the line. This is the free throw. DEPSA trying to get some confidence going to the locker room. Good find to the man down in the paint. That was Jordan Johnson who found the big man cutting. That's Drayton Kumelja, and he'll go line left.
And if you just look at this, and we're catching the tail end of it, but Rob Smith did a really good job of hitting the ball up the sideline against the press. They had a streaker coming from half court going down the middle, which is the big man here at the free throw line. Hit him, and now you're going to get two out of it. But those guys were really in position to break the press, and you can see the result of it at the end of the play.
Kunmalai hits the first. He'll get another. He's the primary backup to the starting center, Connor Brown. Edison will make some changes as well. North Farmington by 25. West Bloomfield against Old Redford. Some fun storylines in that one. We got a lane violation, and when it rains, it pours sometimes. Edison saying we just want one break, one 50-50 ball to go our way in this first
You have
half.
to find something to go your way in a positive manner. You have to continue to motivate your guys to believe there's a lot of time left. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep playing. But it starts with the fundamental plays. They missed a block out there, and you can't do that when you're trying to get back in the game.
Jordan Johnson with that hustle play on the missed free throw. Rob Smith will get forced into a turnover. Good defense to force it by Jeremiah Myers, the senior forward. DEPSA playing out of Division III. So playing up a class. I mean, you got to give them credit for that, right, Murph? I mean, that's going to help them down the line. They're not going to play North Farmington in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, Coach Bo Neely is a tough guy. He's a competitor, so he's not going to back down from anybody. He'll take any game. But at the same time, I think scheduling is important and understanding early on you want to make sure you're playing games where your guys have a chance to compete and have a chance to win. And right now, it looks like North Farmington is way ahead of them at this point in the season. So I don't know what this will do, but this will be great film for teaching no matter what happens. But again, with that being said, it's a lot of time left, but they have to stay encouraged, have to stay motivated to keep fighting.
84 seconds remain. Full court press by DEPSA. Token pressure. He'll back off against Rob Smith and company. TJ Waldron, he's a freshman. Take a look at him. He's a good one. Number 10 with the basketball high in the left. Now between the rings. 60 seconds left until the break. Creary passed down low, and Kamolai missed the short shot. And no traveling. That's okay. 33, left-handed triple, no good. DeMario Williams, but how about the hustle and the stick back by number 20? That's Harper Bolden, the junior.
Well, that was a good scramble situation where they were able to come up with the ball. Petrie was able to stick the jumper. So going into half, I want to see what adjustments are made because that's important. Wow, really good move by the freshman there, CB.
Yeah.
But I would like to see some adjustment made going into the second half to see how you can execute against this press and hopefully get back in this game if you're DEPSA.
10 seconds left in the first half. Right-hand dribble being rocked by Woodley. Now back to Smith. 4, now 3 at the buzzer to end it with an exclamation no. But enough has been stated by Rob Smith. He's the leader with 9 points in the first half. We'll take a timeout from Ferndale, and we'll come back with scores, highlights, an interview, and much, much more. You're watching the Preps coverage of the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic from Ferndale.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
As the voice of Michigan's student athletes, the Student Advisory Council's role
is to convey the message of how high school sports should be played.
We are responsible for helping the MHSAA maintain a positive and healthy atmosphere
in which interscholastic athletes can thrive.
We believe that athletes should be competitive,
sportsmanlike, and excel academically.
We believe that students in the stands should have fun,
but not take away the focus from the game.
We believe coaches should act like teachers,
helping student athletes develop while still keeping high school sports in perspective.
We believe that parents should always be positive role models
and support their child's decisions.
We believe officials commit their own time to high school sports,
and respect should always be shown and given to them.
The most important goal for student athletes is to enjoy high school sports
while keeping a high level of respect between all those involved in the games.
Enjoy the game.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Welcome back to Ferndale. 33-8, North Farmington in the lead. Chad Bush alongside Rob Murphy. Glad to be at the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. Rob, what stood out in the first half?
Just the defense of North Farmington. They did a really, really good job in their full-court press, the half-court press. And then offensively, Rob Smith did a really good job of getting himself involved. He got others involved. He's kind of been the catalyst. And for, Edison, it was tough figuring out the press. I mean, they gave up a lot of live ball turnovers. They never really got any good looks. I think coming out, they have to make an adjustment of how they're going to attack this press to have a chance to get back in the game.
Taking advantage of turnovers is another thing, and North Farmington's done a good job of that when they have flipped them over. Meanwhile, Edison just has not been able to get comfortable in the front court.
Anytime you can get live ball turnovers and get yourself in transition to get some easy shots and some easy points is great. North Farmington has done that all first half, but on the other flip side of it, DEPSA has not done a really good job of executing on offense and not getting their guys in the spots to break the press. And then when they've had some open looks, they've been rushed because of the pressure from North Farmington. So now they're thinking about what's happening on defense, and they haven't been able to deliver anything consistently.
9 points for Rob Smith, 7 points for Lawrence Woodley, and 6 points for Connor Brown, the big man, 5 for Dion Morgan. And again, the assist from Rob Smith turned out as well. 4 assists. He's been the floor general in the steady force.
Yeah, he's been great, Chad. He's playing like a senior should play, a guy with experience. He plays and able to get into the paint. He's breaking down the man. He's breaking down the zone. With shallow penetration, he gets all the way to the basket. He finishes. And he also makes the good plays where he drops off and actually gets his teammates involved. So I give Rob Smith a lot of credit for, having his team ready to play as a senior captain, making sure everybody is aggressive. And then you see here Petrie making a knockdown shot from DEPSA, but they just couldn't get anything consistent with him. And then you see North Farmington now getting open looks, and it goes back to Rob Smith. It also goes back to their defense that put them in transition. And then in the half court, it's been Rob Smith who's been able to deliver consistently time and time again.
4 of 8 from downtown as North Farmington. They made 13 of 25 from the floor. Easy looks like that, as Rob mentioned. Off of that defense, Rob Smith, teammate at his back. That's Woodley, who finished the second high score with 7 points. Good balance, really, when you've got 6 points, 7 points, and 9 points to lead the way for North Farmington. Meanwhile, DEPSA was led with 4 points from Hubbard and 4 points from Petrie. North Farmington's done a great job on Petrie. They've had many eyes on him as well, made him uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, North Farmington has done a really good job of sharing the ball, as you mentioned. These guys play together. They make the extra pass off shallow penetration. They turn down good shots for great shots, which is great. And on the flip side, DEPSA is just in a rush, and that's a credit to North Farmington's defense. They continue to press them full court, they press them half court, and until they figure that out, it could be a long night here, CB.
All right, second half. Don't go anywhere. The Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic coming back right after this. First, life gives us many. From buying your first car or first home to starting a business, Alliance Catholic Credit Union is here for you every step of the way. From checking and savings accounts and youth accounts to auto loans, mortgages, business needs, and financial planning. A full-service financial institution with over 70 years of experience. We're committed to serving your firsts, seconds, 50ths, and every day in between. Alliance Catholic Credit Union. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Every high school sporting event in the state of Michigan has one thing in common: officials. Every game, every meet, every match. Without officials, there'd be no touchdowns, no three-pointers, no face-offs. Without officials, there'd be no games. Officiating is a great way to give back to your community and stay involved with the sports you love. And officials are needed now more than ever, because without officials, it's just practice.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move, and it's out of here.
My dad and my grandfather are officials. I've grown up around officials and seeing how much they enjoy being part of the games. As a student athlete, I've always appreciated the people out there who are willing to give back to the kids. The Legacy program lets me officiate while I'm still in high school, working younger kids' games. Officiating gives me a better understanding of the game. I get to make some pretty good money for a high school kid, and I even get to spend some quality time with my dad. There's help wanted. Just whistle.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
Four wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut. Chad Bush, Rob Murphy back with you. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. You're enjoying the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. 3 games in store today. This is a good one. North Farmington and DEPSA. I know the score's lopsided, but look, these are 2 good teams that'll battle for their respective divisions deep into the playoffs. Next up, West Bloomfield. The Lakers will take on Old Redford. Sort of that Division I against Division III mindset again, but both prize programs. And then the nightcapper will be Ann Arbor Huron taking on Warren Lincoln and the banger of bangs. And look, let's not give up on this game yet either. DEPSA's got Bo Neely on their side. He's been down before. What did Bo Neely say to his team at halftime?
It's all about execution and taking care of the basketball. Guys being in the spots. Guys remaining confident, continuing to believe that we can get back in this game and somehow have a chance to win.
All right. That is a reverse of fortunes there. Edison gets the steal, and Edison comes out and makes the first play.
Yeah, very aggressive on defense there. That showed me in what the halftime locker room talk was about, CB. These guys want to get back in the game, and they're going to give it all they got.
Turnover. And traveling was called. I didn't see that one, but the officials will communicate about it, and they will change the call. I like it when a plan comes together, and the officials come together and get it right.
Yeah, well, that's one of the more one of the more experienced officials, and Malcolm Pennington. He was doing games when I was a high school coach. A lot of experience, so it's good to see him step up and correct the call.
He says, see, I knew a travel was coming. So it is eventually a travel. Full court pressure. We'll see if DEPSA can't force some turnovers. Petrie with a steal, and those shoes were on the end line, but it doesn't take away the execution, right, and the confidence with DEPSA that they can also make some plays defensively.
Yeah, they're continuing to fight, Chad. You want to see your team come out being down with this big of a deficit, to come out and fight, and I'm sure that's what they were preaching and teaching during that halftime.
Creary starts the second half for North Farmington. Karan Creary, a new guy on the scene for North Farmington. 7th or 8th man earning the start of the second half. Shot missed, might have been blocked. Double team in the corner, but Connor Brown corrals and resets for North Farmington. There he is, Rob Smith. 9 points, 4 assists to lead the building. Shot up, no, and a big boy rebound ripped off by DEPSA. Petrie with a bullet pass to the left block, and a little bit too much mustard on that.
Yeah, well, they've come out and they got 2 stops, which was great. North Farmington had been consistently scoring all game, but they were able to come out and get 2 good stops. If I'm Petrie there, I'm just going to be selfish and take that shot, being the best player and knowing how bad we need it. But with that being said, they didn't get anything out of it, but they continue to fight here. They get back on defense, and they're scrappy and somehow cause another turnover.
Possession arrow back to Edison. Bo Neely will call up a play from the left baseline, but not before a timeout on the floor. Here's another look. There was another look.
30-second timeout.
We'll keep it right here. Just a quick timeout. We're at the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic, and this has kind of been the standard for preseason tournaments.
Yeah, this exciting time. Anytime you can get into this tournament or any other tournament, because they have many around the state now to kick off the high school basketball season. So anytime you can get in this tournament to see where you stand early, it's a great opportunity.
There's DEPSA, Division II out of the Gold Charter School Conference, state champs in 2018. City champs also in 2018, and semifinal appearances, 3 of them. You might have heard of Brian Taylor, a 2018 grad, went to Illinois, Chicago, and then followed that up as a Central Michigan Chippewa. 3rd-team All-MAC a season ago. A league you know very well.
Yes, I do, Chad. Great league. Anytime you can have a player good enough to get recruited in that league and go play in there, they're pretty good, and it obviously brings you great success here at the high school level if you have a Division I player that can excel and get to a state championship.
You bet. Petrie for 3, no. Offensive rebound, though, by Hemphill. Kick back, topside triple, and Splash City. Extra effort, extra attempts, and execution by Edgar Hubbard, the super sophomore. No time to waste, back the other way. Connor Brown gets an easy bucket, and that will force a timeout. We'll take it with them. We'll step aside in Ferndale, a 24-point lead for the runners-up from last year in the state of Michigan.
Look, everybody wanna go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
Well, the Uncle Andy's Pizza, as the kids would say, is fire tonight. And this is brought to you by Uncle Andy's Pizza of Berkeley. Order online at uncleandyspizza.com. I just had a barbecue chicken piece of pizza. I had a pepperoni and cheese piece of pizza. Have you gotten in on the pizza yet, Murph?
Yeah, I did take a bite, Chad. I've been, really watching what I eat, so I did take a slice, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I had never heard of them, so now I'm a big fan.
Now, why are you telling the people? Here I sound like a pig. I ate 2 pieces, and you took a nibble.
I took a nibble, Chad.
No pepperoni, no meat,
Yeah, I'm on this.
That's what it takes to get that figure?
Yeah, after the Thanksgiving holiday, I usually take 2 weeks to, break back down and get my body back in shape. So, but I had to take a piece because it looked so good. So it was pretty good, actually.
Yep, no doubt. I'm going to have to get on your plan after the holidays. Post move, patient, up and under, and a nice finish by Brandon Jackson. Don't let the rec specs fool you. This kid can play.
I thought Coach Negocian kind of sensed his team didn't come out focused. They hadn't scored but one time, and they were consistently scoring in the first half. And they figured out a way to get the ball inside and get a quick score and then get back aggressive on defense.
Jackson now with 4 rebounds and 4 points for North Farmington. Trigger far corner, Kenneth Goodwin. The double team on Hemphill, and he's fouled. And that'll go on Lawrence Woodley, and that'll be his second. Always good to hear Mr. Weaver in the house. And when he's in the house, you hear him. I mean, the audio is on 12 when 3-man weave is in the mic. And you know what? I don't mind hearing it on a 12. Reminds me of PSL. Reminds me of, right? Was
yes,
Mr. Weaver doing the?
He's a legend. He's a Detroit legend, the voice of the PSL. And it wasn't a game, especially a playoff game, Cobo Hall, Callahan Hall, where he became the voice of the PSL and has always done a tremendous job and loved by everyone in the Detroit area.
Yeah, we love sharing booths with him and arenas. Foul on the floor, and
number 2.
They're going to get Creary with a foul.
Creary is second.
It's been a foul-infested third quarter. Attack, wild shot, no. Stick back, no. Third time might be a charm, and it isn't. But good hustle and grit by Edison, who's not laying down, Murph.
Yeah, they're continuing to fight, which is good to see. And I'm sure coaches are over there just trying to figure out, can we win the quarter? Sometimes you may not win the game, but you got to continue to get better throughout the game. So can we win the quarter? Let's play this minute by minute to see if we can execute and get back in this game. But more importantly, when we show the film in the from the second half, it should be a lot different from the first half.
Petrie had an open look off the mark, and again, Edison with an offensive rebound. They'll keep possession, baseline left. They'll also check in their 6'7" tall drink of water, and Amari Thornton, this junior. Petrie to trigger, and Rob Smith got busted for a push. He tried to get away with it, senior savvy, but it didn't work.
Yeah, and that one there, he probably never needed to push the guy. I mean, they threw that away without him even touching him. But, DEPSA caught a break there, and they're able to get a possession and hopefully get some positive here on the offensive side of the ball.
How about that? DEPSA's starting to get back in this. They just might win the quarter, Murph. A near steal.
Great turnover.
And the 50-50 ball starting to go the way of DEPSA, Rob Murphy.
Yeah, they're continuing to fight, Chad. It's really, really good to see. These guys are having some patience on offense. They're not allowing the defense of North Farmington to actually speed them up, but right there they were able to get a catch and a finish, which they can turn into an and one here.
How about it, the hoop and the harm from Rynell Wright. That's got to
The
feel
basket
good.
was good by number 5.
He's a sophomore, a lot of sophomores. Bo Neely's playing with a lot of young kids. This is invaluable experience. What's the fine line of getting these kids' confidence beat down and also building it up with a little bit of success?
Yeah, well, coming in 0-1 is always tough, so the young guys haven't tasted winning yet. I don't know what they did as far as exhibition games, but they're 0-1 on the season. So coming in here playing against a really good program, that's why it's so important to execute in this second half, to have some positive film to show. So as you move forward, you'll have something to build on.
It's a fine finish from J.J. Jordan Johnson, the 5'6" senior, Rob Smith's primary backup. 39-16. DEPSA competing in this quarter. Tie up, it'll stay on this side of the court. That'll take us to a timeout. Rob and I will step aside. DEPSA's showing some life. And with 4:07 to go, Bo Neely's boys looking to make a move. Not laying down here. We're back to the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic right after this. Your Catholic faith, it's at the core of who you are, what you do, and the decisions you make. At Alliance Catholic Credit Union, we make your faith and finances work together. From home needs to business needs, from school to retirement, we've got the financial well-being of our Catholic community covered. Visit us today and see how your faith and finances can work together. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Chad and Rob back with you. 4 minutes left. DEPSA against this pressure-filled trap defense. Left elbow floater in and out. And on the move comes Jackson. Can just see the energy of Edison's a lot different.
It is a lot different. It is a lot different, CB. And right now, just keeping your own toll, it's 6-5 is the score. So you take away probably those first 7 or 8 turnovers, it could be a different ball game, and that's how you have to look at it as your Edison. But they've settled in. They're playing hard. They're rotating. They're playing really good defense. Just forced a turnover to get out on the break.
Hemphill with a steal and a coast-to-coast banker. And watch out, DEPSA's winning the third quarter. And that's what you broke it down to. Win the quarter. Right corner 3, air biscuit. Here comes Edison. They got a breakaway. They got a layup coming. And here come the Pioneers. And Todd Negocian wants timeout in Ferndale. The Pioneers are pumped. They're back in it. Don't you go anywhere. Here's another look.
Well, here we get the steal, the hit ahead by Petrie, and a great finish, which is great. But they're playing defense. They're staying aggressive. North Farmington has kind of went to sleep, and I think that's why coach is a little bit frustrated, and they're taking it into a timeout.
Look, everybody want to go and talk. At the same time, gotta walk it. Better yet, run, go, hit a lick, divvy up with my homies, and we do it all again.
That's Brandon Bo Neely, state champion in 2018, guy that played his high school ball under Dave Souls at East Catholic, prize program that shut down sadly. But no one will forget Neely. He led him to 2 state titles when he was there. And how about some prized alums and alma maters, guys that his fun fact is his name is Bo, his son's name is Bo, and his grandson's name is Bo. All spelled a little differently. Pretty cool. Bo Neely in his 12th year, he's a really good coach, and he knows how to get kids focused and coach and raise them the right way.
Yeah, it's a tough task, but to build something at DEPSA says a lot about him because it's not easy to do. He took over a new program that didn't have any tradition in history and brought it there with him and was able to win a state championship.
Throw ahead, press break by North Farmington. Todd Negocian wanted to get things right. We'll see how they focus here in this possession. Jackson down the avenue. And he goes up and is fouled, and he'll get 2 shots coming line right.
Really good penetration by North Farmington on that possession. They had 2 really good penetrations and kickouts before he was able to penetrate going left and was able to get to the free throw line. I think in that last timeout, Coach Negocian probably emphasized we're going to drive this basketball. I don't want you guys shooting any jump shots. I don't want the game getting out of whack. So get to the rim, either finish or get fouled, and let's just keep getting downhill and putting pressure on their defense.
Both teams have left points on the floor. North Farmington 3 of 7 from the free throw line. DEPSA just 1 of 3. Splits the pair. It's a cool 20-point lead for the OAA Reds, North Farmington Raiders. Petrie trying to get loose to the rack. Floater, short corner right, no. But a stay alive and a reset. And a turnover.
Did a really good job there getting the ball where it needed to be. Petrie just missed the easy layup there, but he did a really, really good job of attacking the rim. Before this turnover here we see, he had a really good job a really good chance to get his team on the board, but didn't execute that.
Petrie 4 points in this game to go with 4 rebounds. The high score for DEPSA is Hubbard with 11. Patient offense, as you mentioned tonight, and the point guard a big part of the patient process. That's Rob Smith. He has it near sideline. To the cutting lane in. Brandon Jackson plays bigger than that 6'2", doesn't he?
Yeah, Brandon did a really, really good job of cutting to the basket there. Defender turned his head, and he was able to see that and get behind him. And great delivery by the guard as well. Was able to get him an easy 2.
That's a good catch and a tough pass, and the big boy showing off his skills. That's Connor Brown. A nice play.
Call that playing off too, CB. Caught the ball, gathered. Really fundamentally sound basketball team. They do a really good job of cutting, passing, catching, and patience in the paint is what we like to call it. Don't rush. Make sure you take your time and deliver. And I think they've done a really, really good job of that all night.
For sure.
Number 11, Lawrence Woodley.
So Woodley returns for the Raiders. Rob Smith with a loose lid. And this is a forced turnover, I believe. No, it's not. It did go off the foot of DEPSA. But the pressure and the energy.
The pressure, the energy. Rob Smith dominated that first half. This half, they've made it, put a special emphasis on not allowing him to get to the paint, keeping him on the outside and playing from the perimeter. And just as I say that, he bullies his way to the basket and makes something positive happen. But prior to that play, they did a really, really good job of keeping Rob Smith out of the paint, which has helped them stay at bay during the second half.
Really has. Get another look at the Rob Smith drive.
It's a really strong guard too, Chad. Really strong, has nice size, and is able to finish through contact, which is great. And he has a really good shot, so when he gets fouled, he can go to the line and deliver, which is also a plus, especially late in the game when the game is close.
He's going to play at the next level. He will play college basketball. He's got some junior college options. He's got some Division III options. Might have some Division II options if he keeps playing like this. Splits the pair, offensive rebound. Not a third time. Petrie says, Hemphill clears ahead. Edison a much better job with pressure. Petrie for 3. Splash City.
I like Petrie, Chad. I like Petrie. He has really good size, has a good stroke. He can put it on the deck. They consistently kind of turn the ball over today, so you haven't been able to see him specifically. But if you see him here on the catch, no hesitation, deep range, three-point shooter. He has a chance to be really good at the next level.
Got a little bit of a injury thing going on. Todd Negocian working the officials in a fun way. We've seen Todd do it in all kinds of ways. He likes to work them. Great coach. Both these coaches, some really good coaches in this tournament.
Yeah, really good.
I mean,
really
top
good.
to bottom, it's stacked with coaches. Highly respected all around. Good leaders of young men. And that's what this tournament's all about, bringing in young men that can have a great experience. Final 10 seconds of the third quarter. Rob Smith says, we want the last shot. Smith drives, tries to kick it. Pittman steals it. And that's a defensive play at the buzzer that's got to make Edison feel good about themselves headed to the fourth.
Yeah, that was really good, Chad. They did a really good job of getting the defensive stance to stop going into the fourth. They just need to keep building on it. They've come out at halftime, and they had a really, really good third quarter. Now let's see what they do to start the fourth and beyond.
Come on back for the fourth quarter. Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic in Ferndale. Thanks for watching.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
No coach, just players.
No, I mean, if they go right back to the locker room, like how do you break it up? You feel me? So it may not be the rest.
Welcome back, Chad Bush and Rob Murphy with you. We head to the fourth quarter, 22-point lead for North Farmington. But DEPSA doing what you asked them to do, win the third quarter.
Yeah, they won the third quarter 15-12, which is something to build on. There you see Petrie with the catch, long three bomb, bam! I get into my see me animation, bam! From deep.
He did. I like it. Looks a little smoother with that left hand too, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And now you look at the score since halftime started, it's 18-12. DEPSA, and they've continued to fight and fight and fight, and they're finding their way back in the game.
There's another look at it, and look, I mean, this kid can shoot. You see why Brian Smothers offered him. Through contact, Connor Brown finishes, and I like this Connor Brown kid, Rob.
Does a really good job of catching and finishing. Great fundamentals as well.
Petrie says, "Get me another one." He was hunting a 4-point play there.
Yeah, I love the aggression. See, this is the aggression that I'm sure Coach Neely would have liked to see to start the game before they got down. He's a really talented player. You see him on the catch there, and he just lets it go. He has a quick trigger, and again, he has great size, so he can shoot over the top of the defense.
What would you say to a player that fouls a three-point shooter? Is it ever warranted?
Never.
Or excused?
Never, ever. There's no reason for that. You know, I know these guys are over-aggressive now because he's starting to get hot, so you want to make sure you're contesting the shot and not to let him get comfortable, but never at a time you want to foul a three-point shooter.
What's the attack approach on defending a guy with a three-point shot and you got to recover, you're late? What do you tell guys?
Yeah, I mean, well, you just contest the shot, but, you know, me knowing a guy like that, he's the only option on that team that can get them back in the game. So sometimes you may want to go full deny to not even let him get a rhythm, or you're there on the catch to make him put it on the floor.
Very fair. Double team Edison. Strong pass by Smith. Left hand leaner, good through contact and a foul. Brandon Jackson says, I'm one of the new guys, and I'm coming on the scene tonight in Ferndale.
But here's great execution, Chad. You know, they get him trapped on the sideline. He flashes to the middle, and Jackson, he catches the ball and immediately attacks and is able to turn that into an and one.
Jackson with 9 points now to go with 7 rebounds. Brown with 10 and Smith with 12, balanced scoring. Free throw is missed. And that's a throwaway. Turnovers have been a problem. 23 tonight for the Pioneers. The freshman Waldron nearly got ripped by the senior Petrie. Petrie spelled P-E-T-R-E-E. Jace Petrie.
I like how these guys have continued to be aggressive, especially defensively, CB. You know, the game seems to be out of reach, and it's going to be tough to make a comeback here, but they've continued to compete, and they haven't stopped playing hard as North Farmington executes against their press and scores an and one there.
Hoop in the harm from Lawrence Woodley, the senior. North has finished really well in this game. It feels like they really have. What does it mean when you're a good finisher? What does that come from?
Well, I think they're fundamentally sound. They do everything fundamentally, whether it's catching with 2 hands. You know, they're flashing to the middle. Their spacing is really good. They have patience in the paint. So that tells me they're well coached and they worked on the fundamentals all summer and consistently throughout practice to prepare to play a game each and every day.
How about that attack from the right of the lane? That's Rynell Wright, the sophomore, and he's shown some flashes. Exciting future for Edison with that sophomore class. Rob Smith a bit out of control, misses it. And here comes Edison, who seems to be a little bit more in control right now, and draws the foul. That's double threes. Demario Williams, who's come off the bench, another sophomore, and he'll try to get Edison back under 20 points.
Yeah, well, they're doing a really good job this half of not turning the ball over as much, but getting in the right spots. They're able to break the press and attack like they did there, which is able to draw fouls and get these guys to the free throw line. So much, much better execution coming out of the half for DEPSA. It may be too little too late, but they've done a really, really good job this half of making sure they don't quit, which is important, continuing to learn from the mistakes they made the first half in order to get better, not just for tonight, but for throughout the season.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Like this is really building this early season. I mean, these games are played by Bo Neely to get better.
To get better. Yep, to get better. And then the first half, you know, Chad, they were, you know, really bad. Looked like that it was, you know, they were in deer in headlights, turning the ball over, doing everything quick, not taking good shots. But the adjustments, it's all about adjustments, And I thought Coach Neely did some great motivating, made some great teaching points at halftime. And it's paying dividends for them here in the second half. Now, we don't see that with the score, but there's been improvement from half to half, which that's what you want with a team like this as you move forward.
Edison gets a stop. Petrie misses the shot. Petrie, the leading scorer, 13 points on the night for DEPSA. Hubbard with 11. And it's been Smith that leads North Farmington with 12. Brown with 10. And Woodley with 9. 5.5 to go. 19-point game. DEPSA trying to get another stop. They've gotten a few in this second half that have been impressive. No good there. Second chance opportunity. Stick back Woodley again. Yes.
Lawrence Woodley.
And how about the second crack? This Woodley's been all over the glass.
Yeah, Woodley's a really good player, and he's fundamentally sound, as I said earlier. But Jackson is pretty good as well. I mean, he's a lefty. He's able to get to the basket. Sometimes when you can get to the basket and get it up on the rim, it gives your big a chance to make a play if you miss, and that's what Woodley has done all night. He's been tremendous in that area.
4 fouls in the game for Brandon Jackson for North Farmington. He will rest. And the press getting broken by Latron Wilson. Floater, glass or no, Wilson gets the board. And we've got a tie-up, and that's going to go back the other way to the Raiders of North Farmington. West Bloomfield and Old Redford are in the house, and they're watching this game. West Bloomfield shares the same league as North Farmington. They've been a rival for some time. And Edison and Old Redford are rivals at times as well.
Yeah, 4 really good programs. And like you mentioned earlier, really, really good coaches here in this tournament. Man. Proven coaches that have had success.
Right.
High level of success, who do it the right way. So I'm excited I get a chance to watch these guys and see what they have going on this year with their teams.
The lay-in by Rob Smith and a timeout. We're coming back to Ferndale after this.
What makes people stand in this line like this for 3 hours? Because we're not Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons. These donuts are made fresh daily, and it's made with love and consistency. We got the same ingredients. It didn't change. The people know that, and that's why they standing out there.
That's Todd Negocian. 14th season as a head coach, but he's been on his father's bench for some years. Tom Negocian, who's built this program. Rob mentioned it. He went to Walled Lake Central. He was a Viking, and he learned under Steve Emmert, who was the head coach then. Alma mater, he went to Wayne State. He was a Warrior, not a Tartar, and he transferred to Cornerstone, played some basketball, NAIA, played some basketball at Wayne State. But look, Todd Negocian's a great coach. He led North Farmington to 2 state final appearances since 2016. You talked about the fundamentals. You talked about, I mean, you couldn't pay a coach a better compliment than what you've said tonight about him having his team prepared with fundamentals.
Yeah, very well prepared team. The hardest thing in coaching is to consistently get your team to play defense consistently every play, night in and night out. And that's what he's known for. He's able to do that, and he's executed, and that's why he has had great success. And it started tonight. The reason they're up 20-plus points because these guys came out and played defense at a high level, turned DEPSA over, and they was able to build a lead, and now they're, maybe cruise to this victory here as the game is closing out.
And that comes from a defensive-minded coach in Rob Murphy. He's had his teams in college amongst the best in the nation defensively, with his patented 2-3 zone. Well, you patented along with the other guy. What's his name?
I forget his name. What is his name?
James Arthur something?
Yeah, James Arthur Boeheim.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, who actually will be turning 80 here in another week or so.
Is that right? Are you going to his party? Did you get an invite?
I didn't get any. I don't know if he's not a party guy.
What's up with that?
Yeah, he's just a laid-back type of guy. But I was very fortunate enough to work for him for 7 years and learned a lot of basketball, but in particular the nuances of the unique 2-3 zone. You have a 2-3 zone, then you have the Syracuse 2-3 zone. So I was able to learn it, the ins and out of it, and kind of put my own niche on it as well. And it paid huge dividends for me at Eastern Michigan. And a lot of people ask me, how were you able to coach 10 years and have success at Eastern Michigan University? Because that's hard to do.
Very hard. And
I credit a lot of that success, to the zone and how I was able to implement it and how effective it was for us. And not just, in MAC conference, but we were able to have success against some Big Ten opponents, defeating Purdue 10 years ago. And about 3 days from now is when we went into Chrysler Center and beat Michigan. And a lot of that was because of our defense, our zone, and obviously we had really good offensive players as well. But to get the buy-in on defense was one of the biggest things I was able to do over my career there at EMU.
It was a great career. Rob Murphy led Eastern Michigan in his first year to the Mid-American Conference West Division title.
Rob Smith.
Wow, that was a special time too, Chad, because we were able to come in there and you had You know, Antonio Green and Matt Baltimore and Camille Janton and Quentin Daly and Daryl Lampley and, you know, all of those guys that, you know, felt they hadn't had a great experience, and some of them wanted to transfer and had no interest, and I kind of motivated them and told them if they would just buy into the program and into the new coach and the staff, that we could right away have some success and they can leave here with great memories. And that's what we did, and we were really fortunate that they bought in. And I seen even Matt Baltimore probably a few weeks ago, and I was talking to his son.
Big prospect.
Yeah, him, exactly. Him and Antonio Green I talked to and, you know, see from time to time. And we talk about, you know, that year and the success we had and how we were a family, how we were a brotherhood, and how I implemented a lot of things into their life just in that 1 year that they carry today. So I'm appreciative that those guys gave me the chance, and we had an opportunity to have some success before their departures there at EMU.
It was a special team, and it didn't take a lot of time, and that's unlikely in most scenarios. Attack after the steal, and the lay-in is good. Edgar Hubbard. And you rattled those guys off like, I mean, you were reading them off a list. You don't forget your players, do you?
Oh, no. I can rattle guys off from 1998 Central High School State Championship team, or Crockett High School's Class B State Championship team, on the kids I coached at Kent State and on to Syracuse University when I was there for 7 years, and my 10 years at EMU, and then my experiences at the NBA level. But relationships mean everything to me, and they're meaningful. And I always, you know, coaches get the credit, but players really get it done. You know, we put them in position, but they have to execute. They have to deliver. And me as a coach, being able to make a living coaching and doing this, and what it has done for my family and my kids, I'm forever thankful for all the kids that I've coached, and I've continued to give back through my foundation because of that, because I understand the importance of continuing to grow our youth and putting them in a position to be successful well into the future.
And that aligns with what we're doing today. The Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic, and I know you're fond of Horatio and what he's done as a philanthropist and somebody who really is giving to the community and has given to so many kids and given just countless opportunities.
Yeah, he's a great guy, a caring and loving guy. He really cares about the youth in the community. He has an open door policy, an open book, and an open phone. You know, anytime I've ever called Horatio, whether it was about my foundation or helping me with something that he had absolutely nothing to do with, he's always been there. No different when I called him and, you know, asked him about bringing the PreP here and, you know, allowing us to broadcast the games and how it will be a benefit for the kids and for the youth. He didn't hesitate, and he was trying to help us figure it out. But he's a great guy. His foundation is huge in the city of Detroit and the surrounding areas, and I look forward to continue to work with him. But he's been nothing but helpful to me.
Absolutely. We're honored to be here. And we'll have our G of the game after this one's over. And some candidates out there. Jam Jan broke it down with candidates. She had like a top 10 she made out. God bless you. And listen, I don't think we got to look that far down the chart. There's been one guy that stood out amongst others. But look, it'll be a conversation. But 13 points for Hubbard, 13 for Petrie. DEPSA impressive with what they've done in this second half. That will help moving forward, right?
Yeah, they've really fought this second half. Positive film to show, and I'm sure Coach Neely can't wait to break down the field and show the film to show them the difference from the first half to the second half execution, but more importantly, moving forward, because you don't ever want one game to allow you to lose the next. That's important. So if we can, or if coaches can, you know, implement that film as soon as possible and move on, and it helps you win the next game, that's what it's really all about, growing your team.
Sure is. And Bo Neely, certainly one of those guys that realizes it. He's been there, done that, won a title, and coached a lot of kids to wins on the court, wins off the court. You mentioned the experiences and the relationships and the stuff that lasts beyond the court, and that's what really matters here today.
Yeah, and anytime you have a young team, and I don't know what the expectations are for them this year, but my goal was always to compete for a state title. But even when you fall short, and especially when you have a young team like this, you have something to build on. So if this is not your year, and I know 26 is a long way away, but you can be gunning for that even now if you have forward thinking and you have a vision for your program.
Well said. Losing players, losing coaches, it happens from year to year. That's a three. Splash City, that's Jaden Glynns with a triple. And that gives North Farmington their 62nd point. North Farmington did lose one of their assistants, Denaro Rice, in the offseason. He went to Warren de La Salle. So it's always, you know, you hate to see an assistant coach go, but you feel as a head coach that, hey, that is a credit to the program.
And I'm so happy for Denaro Rice. He's a guy I've been knowing probably 25-plus years. One of the hardest workers in our game, is really doing it for the right reasons. He's a great developer, skill developer. He's a great coach who understands the game. So I'm excited that he got a break and he was able to get a head coaching job, especially at a really good program.
Absolutely. LaSalle, a great program. Here's another look at Petrie. Look at this effortless, confident
stroke. A stroke. I seen it early, Chad. I said I like this guy after the first shot to start the game. But he's a great size, lefty with great touch, crafty off the bounce. He's a guy that'll go to college, and depending on his growth and his maturation, in another 2 or 3 years, he'll continue to get better, and we'll be hearing about him as a all-conference type player wherever he's going to school.
You bet. The Farmington turns it over. 31 seconds left. The Phoenix of Detroit Edison Public School Academy with perhaps their final possession of this Friday night in Ferndale. Left corner three, that's right. That's no good. Dritzen Kunmalai with the rebound. They're testing my Albanian early. That's an over and back or not. And they'll let it go with 3 seconds left. Todd Negoshian will call off the Dogs. His dad, Tom Negoshian, out there on the floor like they're down 20. You gotta love it.
I do love it, Chad. I've been kind of smiling all game as I see him over there teaching and chastising and coaching, bringing a lot of energy. But he's been doing it for such a long time, has a great understanding of the game, and still giving back.
That's all tonight for game one. North Farmington comes in and means business, but not before DEPSA shows some fight to the finish. We'll have our G of the game coming up next. We'll have stats, highlights, the G, and much, much more. Game one in the books. Don't go anywhere. There's 2 more to go. Stick around. We're back to Ferndale right after this.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
In today's ever-changing mortgage lending world, the importance of true professionals has never been greater. At Success Mortgage Partners, we want you to have the experience of a lifetime. Founded and owned by Catholic League alumni, our family-centered business keeps your interest at heart as we help you navigate this turbulent market with ease. If you or a family member has a mortgage need, please call me, Owen Lee, at 734-822-9792.
The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
Welcome back to Ferndale High School in the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. We're with our G of the game, Rob Smith. What a ball game, 16 points, 7 assists. And more importantly, like, you got your guys in control. You were the only returner coming back. Todd Negocian's expected a lot out of you.
Yeah.
I thought you showed some great poise tonight. How did it feel leading the boys?
It felt good. It felt like I did what I was supposed to do. You know, being the only one who started in the state run last year, so I got to take that and put it on the younger ones. So just teaching them what to do and keep elevating myself at the same time.
How much experience did you get going to the finals and playing in a game like this? How much of the game slows down after you've been to the top of a game like the state championship?
A lot, the whole game. Like, it's simple. It's simple now. It's not hard at all. So how I look at it now and how I did before is two different type of games. So it's much easier.
Back-to-back wins now. You knocked off your rival on Tuesday in Farmington. You beat a good DEPSA team tonight. Things went well for you early. Talk about getting your team in position for things to flow well. It doesn't always happen that easily.
Yeah, just really in the locker room, just getting focused. That's really the main problem we have sometimes. Even coming out of halftime, like, we had a slump, but we figured it out and able to keep our lead. But just talking to them and keeping that confidence up is my biggest thing for them. So, yeah.
For you guys, the defense is suffocating. It's tricky. It's tough for teams. How much pride do you have in defense, and how much fun do you have playing it?
It's a lot of pride. That's our motto. That's what we're known for. So it's fun. Once you know what you're doing with the press, it's fun. So it's not nothing hard or nothing like that.
It's Rob Smith. Big game tonight. He leads North Farmington to victory. Only returning starter from last year, and he's got the guys rallying around him. Way to be a leader tonight.
Thank you.
You bet. He's our G of the game. That's Rob Smith of North Farmington. 16 points, 7 assists, and countless big defensive plays. We'll come back with more on the Preps coverage of the Horatio Williams Tip-Off Classic. Our G of the game, Rob Smith from North Farmington.
We are the MHSAA, a collection of 750 high schools and 750 middle schools, from Temperance to Copper Harbor, from New Buffalo to Alpena. Each year, more than 250,000 students play one of our 28 sports. More than 1.5 million fans attend our postseason games. There are 30,000 coaches and 8,000 officials, not to mention all of the volunteers. The MHSAA believes in the 4 S's. School sports should be safe and kept in the appropriate scope. We believe nothing beats great sportsmanship, and that scholarship in the classroom is more important than excellence on the field or court. Most of all, we believe school sports should be fun. So come out and join us at a game. Support your school, support your community, and come see what the excitement is all about.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
So this ball game's over, 62-38, the final. Let's look at some of the highlights in this one. And a hot start for North Farmington, Murph. They got off to a good start, 15-4 in the first quarter. Defense led to offense.
Yeah, it was their defense leading the offense. Rob Smith actually got those guys going early. He's the senior. He came in ready to play, had his team ready to play. So they came out and got into a lead, and overall DEPSA had 26 turnovers, CB, and that's really hard to overcome. But they came out the second half and played a heck of a half, something to build forward to. They end up winning the half 30-29, and that's something that Coach Neely can take with him as they get prepared for the next game.
16 points to lead the way for Rob Smith, 11 for Lawrence Woodley, 9 for Brandon Jackson, 10 for Connor Brown. Great balance for North Farmington, who shoots 56% for the game, 50% from downtown. Meanwhile, DEPSA, the Pioneers, Petrie, big in the second half, 16 points total. Hubbard with 13, 7 for Rhinell right off the bench. And as Rob mentioned, they won the second half, something you can break to the next game and carry over. And winning it by 30-29, plays like that from Petrie.
Yeah, Petrie's a good talent, Chad. I think he's a next-level player. His best basketball is ahead of him. And a credit to and congrats to Coach Negocian. This was a really good win early in the season to have that balance in the scoring column from a lot of his guys scoring and playing together. The way they were able to break the press and play fundamentally sound basketball was great. So congrats to them. DEPSA has something to build on.
All right, stick around on another link. We've got West Bloomfield and Old Redford. Thanks for watching. For Rob Murphy, my name's Chad Bush. So long. We're back in a moment.